Hello and welcome to Live at Lunch on Monday. If any of you out there are on Facebook, thanks for hopping on. I know that a lot of you might be off work today, enjoying a little bit of frosty, snowy holiday time. For those that aren't, who are those who are out there working, out there plugging away, thanks for hopping on. If you're watching this now on Monday the 15th, President's Day, thanks. If you're watching this later, whether it's on Facebook or you're joining us on YouTube or Instagram, IGTV. Thanks for joining on. We come to you live every Monday, live at lunch, to talk about different things, to engage in conversations, to just stay connected. We've been doing this since April, and it's been a really good time. And we've had a lot of great conversations. We've shared a lot of resources. We've made some new friends, which is really exciting. We've connected with folks across the country, and that's been really fun. We've made some new friends here in the Treasure Valley, Boise, where we are currently physically located. So that's great to strengthen those connections, strengthen that safety network where we're located. We are the WCA. We provide services to those who are impacted by domestic abuse and sexual assault. So that's on our services side. My name is Chris, and I'm the communications manager. So I oversee marketing communications, media relations, that kind of thing. But I also have the great opportunity to work with the folks who manage our outreach and prevention programs. And it is February 15th. So I'm coming to you from my house, my living room table. I'm currently looking out over my deck and my very snow-filled backyard. For those of you who do live in the Treasure Valley, you know we got snow dumped on us. And in the Northwest, we had a lovely blustery 9 inches of snow drop on us over the weekend. So I had to go out and shovel a path for the dog to go out and go to the bathroom this morning because I have a very sensitive dog and he wouldn't go outside. But it's actually beautiful looking outside and looking at it. Um, but that's what we do here. But I get to oversee the folks who are going out and spreading the word about not only the services, the great services that we provide, but also about prevention and about outreach and starting those really great conversations aimed at hoping to prevent, to educate about the dynamics of domestic abuse, which involve a lot more than just physical abuse. It's very invasive. Coercive control is an incredibly um, dynamic and hidden thing. And but also on the prevention side, talking to kids. And it is February, so it's Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. And we've had a lot of really exciting things happen on at the WCA this month. And so I'm going to be talking about a few of those things in a little bit. But again, it is President's Day, a holiday that's celebrated in the United States the third Monday of every month. And I was thinking about that and thought, wow, well, we've always celebrated President's Day, even as a kid, right? How long has that been? You know, we are not a very old country when you think about the state of the world. Well, I looked it up, and the first President's Day was celebrated as George Washington's birthday in 1796. And I did the math, and forgive me if I didn't do the math right, but 225 years or so. So it wasn't a made official holiday at that point, but that's when the first day was celebrated. So over 225 years. So a lot has happened in our country, a lot is still happening in our country, but that to me puts it in a little bit of perspective. I think that helps us identify some opportunities that we still had. Hey, Erin, thanks for joining. Happy Monday to you. Erin is our court advocate manager, and she's a great supporter. She joins us for Live at Lunch on Mondays. I may shout out to you to give us some comments here because I'm going to talk about a few things that I know really involve you here in just a bit. But I think there's a lot of opportunity when I was looking at it or thinking about it in terms of 225 years seems like a very, very long time, but it's really not. We're still a very young country, and we have a lot of opportunity to do great things. So I want to leave you with that thought, and I want to leave you on that before we move away from thinking about President's Day. There's a lot of talk about intolerance, and I want to talk about tolerance. We talk about different groups. We talk about there's a lot of upheaval. There's a lot of combats going on in terms of like in families and groups and things. We have a lot of opportunity to do good things, I think, in our world. So I think I would just like to leave you with the thought today to think about tolerance in your world, what you can do this moment today to really encourage tolerance for people who may not think like you, may not look like you, may not live like you, because encouraging tolerance in your own self, in your world, is one way that we can take advantage of these opportunities and keep encouraging improvement in our world, in our community, in our country, because a lot of really wonderful things have happened since the first time this holiday was celebrated. Again, 225 years ago, a lot of really horrific things have happened, but a lot of really amazing things have happened too. So there is opportunity in everything. And I do try to look at that in the way I live my life. And the work I do spend pretty much every day thinking about really bad things and the really awful things that people do to each other. But I also really look and try to find the opportunities to teach people and start conversations and make change in our community. So if we all think about, yes, there's a lot of intolerance, but how can we work to encourage tolerance and work to grow tolerance in our lives, in our own world, in our own little spheres of influence? You know, what you do every day, the conversations you have every day. What can you do to impact and grow tolerance? I think we all have a little more influence in our world than we actually believe and understand. And so if we all look at just at our own little world, what can we do to encourage tolerance? I think that could be really helpful. So, and I'll get on my soapbox. People who know me know I like, I'm a communication manager. That's what I do. I talk. But I've been thinking a lot about tolerance and all the millions and millions of people who have dedicated their lives and their lives work or been victimized by intolerance. And I'll say just look at tolerance. So it is Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, and this past few weeks we've had some exciting new digital resources that we've rolled out to not only help with spreading of education and helping those who are impacted by domestic abuse, sexual assault, gain access to services. So we have a brand new website. If you haven't checked it out yet, please do, WCABoise.org. We rolled that out. We spent quite a bit of time researching like the best way to navigate a website, the best way to help people access resources if that's what they're looking for, information for services, information to access to information. So it's beautiful. We had a local marketing agency, See Through Marketing, really partner up with us and really they're dedicated in our mission. So we're really grateful to them. Mike Kirby and his team, shout out to them. They're awesome. But on that, living embedded with that is a prevention hub, the Worth Prevention Hub. So know your worth. It's themed orange, which is the awareness color for teen dating violence awareness. And on that also, there's a video series that was developed by our youth reps, relationship education program. They are fantastic. Um, the team rolled out their first podcast. So we have a prevention podcast. The second episode will drop on all the places you can download a podcast, but it will also be available on the website this next Tuesday. But the first episode is there. It's great. Somebody downloaded it in Istanbul. So we're like globally um, published. We're really excited, but it's really exciting. We've had a lot of interaction from our youth, which we know, peer-to-peer engagement is how you get kids involved and get them talking to each other and talking about healthy relationships, talking about how to get them to open up when they see something. And you'd be uh, moved, appalled, amazed, I don't know, with what kids talk about, what's going on. So that's another thing. We had some really exciting stuff happen on the, I think, employee engagement side as well. But it's been a really fun time at the WCA. We just come off a year of incredible numbers that we saw in requests for services. So we know the pandemic has been really, well, to say difficult doesn't do it justice, but we know that home has been really unsafe for a lot of people who have had to go home and stay home. So really, really incredibly heightened levels of stress and just unsafe places, spaces for people who are dealing with domestic abuse or increased levels of unhealthy environments for people who have, where there's intimate partner violence or where there were unhealthy dynamics. So um, for adults and children, for elderly. So we've come off that and we have a great team who's still there, 24-hour hotline, which is 343-7025. Erin is on here. She's our court advocate manager. They have been doing amazing work with the folks at the Ada County Courthouse, helping out folks who need civil protection orders and safety planning and referrals for legal referrals. They can be reached. You can get a referral through the hotline, but they're on site at our crisis center Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30, 208-343-3688, extension 200. Um, and I had a question. Actually, somebody I know reached out to me over the weekend, and I wanted to talk about this a little bit because I'm thinking President's Day, I'm thinking freedom, I'm thinking about, I'm sitting here in my wonderful, warm house, in my happy, safe space, and I'm feeling very fortunate, but I just know there are a lot of people who aren't. And I know that a lot of people still have a very big misconception about the services that the WCA offers. And so I wanted to talk about that for a minute and hope that you, who might be watching this now or who might be watching this later, can help us share the word and spread the word about the WCA and be our kind of advocates. Because the one thing that's really wonderful, well, there's many things about the WCA that's wonderful, is that, well, one thing is all of our services are free. They're all completely confidential. And that's one thing I really want to stress is that they're completely confidential. They're completely voluntary. So they're free, they're confidential, and they're voluntary. So if someone just wants to talk, they just want to some validate, like, am I going crazy? Or what can I do? And they may not want to file a police report. They may want to leave yet. They're not ready or they don't even know what's going on. They can call our hotline. They can come in and speak to somebody. They can come in and talk to Erin and her team and even help understand what the options might be. They still don't have to go to the police. The only time is if they are mandatory reporters if there's danger to a child or a vulnerable adult. So this question that somebody reached out to me, hi Becca, hello guys. And again, I'm not an advocate, and I absolutely advise them to call the hotline. I gave them the court advocates numbers, but I said they're not going to make you call the police. No, they're not going to make you file a police report. And that's what this person um, was really hesitant to call the WCA. Um, and they kept wanting me to give them answers. And again, I'm not a client advocate. I kept saying I'm not, you know, licensed or I'm not trained to give you answers, but they are. And they're not going to make you do anything you don't want to do. But they have all the information and resources to help you get the information you need, and they'll support you if you choose to go down that route. But unless, again, there's a child in danger or a vulnerable adult. So I think that's really important, and I really want people to understand that is that the WCA that is here for people to provide support, to provide the resources and the tools that people need to find that path toward freedom confidentially, safely, free of charge. We do have people who come and get counseling and actually don't leave, perhaps. They're not ready to leave. They haven't maybe they never leave, but they come get counseling. They come get financial empowerment education. They come get case management and figure out maybe how to um, go about getting some job, help putting together a resume and practicing for job interviews because they haven't been able to work or get a better job so they can support themselves. And they can do all that without their partner or the person, their, intimate partner, even knowing because they don't have to know. So it's all confidential if they're preparing for that next step. So I think that's really important for people to understand is we are not ever going to make someone do something they're not ready for. It's completely confidential. Hey, Tracy, thanks for joining. Anybody feel free to chime in. Again, I am not a trained advocate, client advocate, court advocate, clinician, but this is part of our job on my team, and we take it very seriously. We're very passionate about it because we want people to know. The folks, and Erin is on here, court advocate manager. She's fantastic. What she does with the court advocacy team, they assist people with filling out the paperwork for those civil protection orders. They help people with legal referrals. They talk to people and help them as best they can understand maybe what's going on, what their options might be, help them get connected to a volunteer lawyer or referred to legal aid or other. And I don't pretend to understand it all because I am not trained and I don't have that information, but I know Erin is a wealth of knowledge, but she is not going to make somebody call the police and file a police report. The only time they're mandatory reporters if a child's safety is in danger. So, or a vulnerable adult. So, again, that was a very eye-opening experience for me because that was a big fear for this. And this was a family member of a person contacting me, again, saying, this is going on. And, you know, and this person, didn't want me to talk to their um, neighbor, and I didn't want to talk to their neighbor, but I said, they really should call and talk. And they were just really afraid that they were going to make them file a police report. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that and just really, um, if you are watching this and you may know somebody or whatever, and just in conversation, I think it's really important to know that the WCA and organizations like the WCA are here for um, victims and survivors out there who are just looking for information and support and tools so that they can find safety, be empowered on their journey to finding freedom. And today, that was really that thought that chord struck me. It's a President's Day, and our country was built on freedom and tolerance. And those are things that are really important, especially for people who are living in homes that are unsafe, where their freedoms have been restricted, where there's coercive control, where they've been allowed to or not allowed to see people who provide support for them, where their choices have been taken away. They're not allowed access to their money, to a phone, to family and friends, not to work, where their children have been threatened, where their pets have been threatened, things like that. In addition to um, being called names and physically hurt, all of those things. Coercive control is incredibly insidious and can do severe damage of which the scars last a lifetime. So I'm trying to watch any questions here. Um, I'm seeing great folks logging on. So again, if you're logging on to IGTV, seeing this, or on YouTube, or you're watching this later, give us a like, give us a share. We'll put some links in we'll throw some links out here, but check out our new website, WCABoise.org. There's the Worth Prevention Hub in that, so you can hit WCABoise.org/worth, WORTH, and our 24-hour hotline, which is 208-343-7025. That is answered 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Anyone can call from anywhere, anytime for information and resources. If you're worried about somebody and you haven't heard from them in a while, reach out, check in with them. Don't give up. Offer resources and just offer support. So thanks for tuning in to Live at Lunch. I hope if you're working today, that you're having a great day. If you're not working today, I hope you're staying warm and enjoying a little bit of sunshine and maybe playing in the snow. Um, it is a beautiful day outside, and y'all take care and stay healthy. Thanks.